way more important than believing in your affirmations or having strong beliefs in order to create something in your life is neutrality. So being neutral about that, what you affirm or what you want to create in your life. This is the real key. Let me explain. But first things first, my name is Lydia Wilmsen. I'm a mindset and high performance coach. And here on my channel, I talk about all things conscious creation, manifestation, high achieving or high achievement, high performance, and personal development. And if you want to get coaching from me, go to the description and check it out. All the links are in there, or to the pinned comment, all information in there. And announcement, the Mind Mastery community now has 2 tiers, and that means you can join for a freaking $9 a month and be a share-only, read-only listener in there. So basically you can access the Conscious Creation course, you can access at least 5 masterclasses by now in there, and you can be part of the energy in the group, and you can read when I coach some people from the higher tier. So they have questions in there and I coach them in the comments. So you get access for of all of that for $9 a month. You can also share your wins. You can share what's going on in your life. If you want coaching, if you want to join the coaching calls, then you have to upgrade to the higher tier. However, you get so much already for basically 2 coffees. For 2 coffees, the price of 2 coffees, you can join for a whole month in the Mind Mastery community. The link is in the comments or in the description. So now let's get to the topic today. There are so many people we say you have to believe, what are my beliefs? What are my assumptions? This is what creates my reality. I think most of us, or most of you have heard this by now. And there is truth in that. However, very often you will see that happening in your life, and I have seen this countless time in my life. I didn't really believe in something and it still happened. I didn't have a strong belief yet because I was still working on it. I was assuming it. I kept affirming it. However, I was by no way believing it yet. So it wasn't a full-blown belief. I was building a belief, but it wasn't a belief yet. So what happens in that moment is, it's not the belief itself that creates your reality or selects your reality. It's the predominant beliefs, of course, that you hold, or the predominant thoughts that you hold. And very, very important, it's a form of neutrality, a form of detachment to that what you're affirming for. So very often, for example, in my life, when I was surrendering to almost like this, oh my God, I don't give a fuck anymore, I don't care. Of course I cared, but I was tired of doing the work. I was tired of affirming. I was tired of visualizing or anything like that. And I was just whatever, Still held it softly in my mind. I didn't go to the opposite scenario. I didn't go into oh, my world goes under and nothing works. I still didn't entertain those thoughts. However, there was no belief for the new thing or for the thing that I wanted. However, I had so much, I had released so much resistance against that then it happened almost miraculously and very sudden sometimes. And quite simple. Nothing big, nothing fancy. And this is also why, for example, people say it is way simpler or way easier at some point or sometimes to manifest a free cup of coffee. Because you say okay, I want a free cup of coffee, I'll have a free cup of coffee. You don't really believe that. But then you go about your way, you go about your day, and all of a sudden, of course you get a free cup of coffee because it has been in your mind. But you don't hold a resistance against it. You're not thinking contrary thoughts constantly of oh, but I will never get a coffee. It's so difficult to get a free cup of coffee. Who should give this to me? It's so small for you. It has so little importance for you that you just don't spend a lot of negative thoughts on it. And this is the key for you. It's not that you have to make yourself believe. It is that you have to learn to become more and more neutral towards what you desire. And I know if you want something really very much, if you desire something very much, it can be way more difficult. But at the same time, if you desire something very much and there is a lot of like, oh, why don't I have this? Yes, then that's your sign already. There is a lot of thoughts going into like, why don't I have this? Why is this not working? Why is it always the case? Why does nothing ever work out what I want? You know, like very often when you question things, why they are not there, you have a lot of story going on of the opposite. So of course, it's not happening as quickly as you want. And this is what you can learn to let go of. And I use EMDR and some somatic practices that I teach in Mind Mastery to really release the old story and the old residual like heaviness and attachment to like, I want this and I don't have it, and the old story, you know. And the more you go into like, okay, whatever, I'm neutral about it. I actually I don't spend so much time focusing on not having it anymore. I'm just like, I just spend time with my daily life. I enjoy my daily life. I even go into like, and if it doesn't happen, okay, whatever, but not with a lot of emotion. It's not even like, oh my God, poor me, you know, it will never happen. Poor, you know, not that. Just like, okay, whatever, I'll be fine anyways. And it doesn't mean that you're not allowed to desire that what you want anymore. It's not that, but almost like skipping or letting go of the very heavy part that keeps you in not having. So desire, you can have a very clean desire and a desire with certainty this is going to happen. You know, when you want to move and you know you're going to move to your dream country or to your dream house at some point, and you live in that scenario and you have this desire to live there. You're happy about that. This is going to happen at some point. You don't know how it's going to happen, but you have this very clean desire, and there is not a lot of like mind chatter of it's not going to happen. Why would it never happen for me? Poor me. All of that is not there. You're just very excited that this will happen at some point. You're just excited about it. You desire it. You want it. You know, like you can see my face. I'm excited about it. Not that I want to move to a different country, but you know, I tell my face in this moment for an example right now. You know, like I'm happy that this will happen. So there is certainty, and there is also positive expectancy. And if you don't have that because you don't have the belief, at least get yourself out of like, this will never happen and poor me and oh my God, nothing ever works for me, and the old story. Learn to loosen the grip of the old story of it has never worked, I don't have it, and living in the not having, you know? When I just explained this like, oh my God, I'm going to move to this different country, and the excitement and the desire, you can see in my face I'm already living in that reality. So there is no old story of like, oh, why I'm still here? Why haven't I moved yet? No, none of that. None of that. I'm living in the new country already internally, in excitement and happiness that this is going to happen. So desire is beautiful. I'm not telling you to not have desire. But what I mean is most people live in the opposite of they have a desire, but then they live in not having it. They don't live in the excitement. They don't live in the happiness and the expectancy of that, what they want. They live in the dread of not having it, in the old story of why has this never happened and never worked, in the old story of all the old limiting beliefs. And this is what needs to go. And you can come just to a place of neutrality where it's like, okay, this will happen at some point. I don't really believe it at the moment. I don't know how it's going to happen, but I'm fine. I'm neutral. I'm like with a cup of coffee, you know? It's like, okay, if I get a cup of coffee or not, it doesn't matter. And you can get to that place. I know some creators out here, or even some coaches teach you like, of course, this is a bigger issue. If you want the partner, if you want the house, if you want the move, if you want the money, of course, this desire is bigger than for a cup of coffee, but you can still get to this place of neutrality. You can still get to this place of detachment from the old story. And this is what I teach with the methods that I do, and they work. They work like miracles. Not in an instant. You need some time to process this old shit, but the more you do that, you just live on an entirely different plane. So that is my reminder for you today. Get to a place of neutrality. Get to a place of being fine, whatever is. Also with acceptance of what is right now. Stop being so resistant against your reality at the moment. Stop being so in frustration and in anger. And if you have that, use it. Use somatic movement and EMDR and those tools to get yourself into a higher place after that, into a place beyond that. Don't dwell there, don't stay there. Yes, act the emotions out, but don't live there. That's my main message. So you can do that. You can get rid of the old story. And if you want some support with that, please check out the description and join Mind Mastery, or you get one-to-one with me, whatever. Okay, thank you for listening. Please like, share, comment, and I'll see you in the next video. Bye.